Alien husband abandons human wife and hybrid baby. What a war titan did next shocked all. Clara Benson stared at the small crib, her hands trembling as she reached toward the soft, cooing face of her baby. The child's eyes, bright and curious, seemed to hold a light she had never seen before. Liam, her son, was half human, half alien. To most people, that made him strange. To her, he was perfect. But perfection did not matter to Verk, her husband. The alien warrior had left without a word that morning. He had not looked back, not once. Clara had tried to understand. She had tried to speak to him, to beg him to stay. But Verk had only said, "He is not mine to raise. You will fail." She remembered the sharp sting of his words as if they had been knives. He had not only abandoned Liam, but had also abandoned her. Clara pressed her forehead to her baby's soft hair, feeling the weight of a world that suddenly seemed colder. The small home they shared on the edge of the human colony felt emptier than ever. The walls, painted in warm shades of beige and cream, now seemed harsh and cold. Outside, the colony stretched into a rocky valley. Alien structures, tall and sharp, dominated the skyline. Humans lived on the outskirts and they often felt unwelcome. Clara knew that she and Liam would have to survive on their own. Her thoughts returned to Verk. He had been proud, strong, and terrifying. A warrior from a species that prided itself on strength and honor, he had always believed that emotions were weaknesses. Clara had thought that love could change him. She had been wrong. Clara took a deep breath and stood, holding Liam close. The child smiled at her, and for a moment the pain in her chest eased. She knew that she could not allow herself to break. Her baby depended on her. That alone gave her strength. She had learned quickly that surviving as a human among aliens was difficult. The colony's market was dominated by alien traders who looked at humans as weak and unimportant. Clara had grown up in the colony, but she had never faced such open hostility as a single mother. People whispered when she walked past, some shaking their heads, some offering fake smiles. One afternoon, Clara ventured to the market, carrying Liam in a sling across her chest. The sun reflected off the shiny alien buildings, making the air shimmer. Merchants called out to her, trying to sell goods. Clara ignored them, focusing on keeping her baby safe. A group of alien children ran past, laughing and bumping into her. Liam cried, startled by the noise. Clara's heart clenched. She hugged him tighter, murmuring softly, "It's okay, baby. I'm here. No one can hurt you while I'm with you." She noticed a human woman near the food stalls, her eyes scanning the crowd as if she were looking for someone. The woman waved when she saw Clara. Her name was Mara, a friend from the colony who had also struggled to raise a child alone. Clara smiled, grateful for the small comfort of seeing another human face. Mara came closer, lowering her voice. "Clara, I heard. Verk left." Clara nodded, biting her lip to stop herself from crying in public. "Yes, he said Liam is not his problem. He said I would fail." Mara's eyes softened. "You won't fail, not with him. He's strong because of you. Humans are stronger than they look, Clara. Don't forget that." Clara held her friend's hand, feeling a flicker of hope. I don't know how I'll do this alone." Mara shook her head. "You'll figure it out. You always do. Just take it one day at a time." Clara nodded, letting the words sink in. She knew Mara was right. She had survived hardship before. This would be different, but she had Liam now. That was reason enough to keep going. Back home, she prepared a small meal while Liam played on a soft mat in the corner of the room. The child was curious, reaching for small objects and giggling when they moved. Clara watched him, amazed at how quickly he learned. Liam's mind was sharp and his reflexes were fast. Sometimes she could see glimpses of Verk in him, the warrior's strength, the alien calm, but mixed with her own determination and heart. That evening, Clara stepped outside to look at the colony from her porch. The stars were bright, clearer here than they would ever be on Earth. She thought about what life had been before Verk. They had met during a trade mission. He had seemed distant at first, but over time she had seen kindness in him, a side that rarely showed to others. She had believed that love could survive between two very different beings. Now that belief felt like a fragile dream, broken by his departure. Clara wrapped her shawl tightly around her shoulders, hugging Liam to her chest as he drifted off to sleep. She whispered promises to him that she barely believed she could keep. "I will keep you safe, Liam. No matter what happens, I will protect you. Always." The following days were hard. Clara struggled to find work in the colony, moving from one alien supervisor to another, always being told humans were too weak for demanding tasks. She cleaned, cooked, and repaired homes, earning just enough to keep food on the table. Liam grew quickly, learning words faster than she expected, his tiny hands showing surprising strength for a child of his age. One morning, as Clara prepared breakfast, Liam stood up from his crib and reached for her. "Mama strong," he said, his small voice filled with certainty. Clara smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "Yes, baby, you're strong." He looked at her seriously, his tiny eyes fixed on hers. "Strong like Papa," Clara paused. The mention of Verk brought a shadow to her face, but she quickly smiled again. "Stronger, you'll see." As Liam ate, Clara thought about the future. She knew Verk could come back at any time, and the thought made her uneasy. She also knew that humans, even weak and scattered among the stars, had something no alien could take: resilience. She had to nurture that in Liam. If the galaxy was cruel, they would survive together. One afternoon, a group of alien soldiers entered the colony. They were tall, armored, and imposing. Clara froze, holding Liam close. The soldiers stopped near her home, speaking in harsh, clipped tones. Clara could not understand everything, but she caught enough to know they were searching for someone, perhaps her, perhaps Liam. Fear gripped her chest like ice. She stepped forward, keeping her voice calm. "Is there something I can help you with?" The lead soldier, his skin pale with metallic sheen, turned toward her. "We are looking for the hybrid child," he said. "The one left behind by Verk. Bring him to the council." Clara felt her blood run cold. Liam's small hand reached for hers, and she held it tightly. "He is my son. You will not take him," she said firmly. The soldier's eyes narrowed. "It is an order. Resistance is unwise." Clara knew reasoning would not work. She grabbed a small satchel and ran toward the back of her home, Liam safe in her arms. The soldiers shouted, their heavy footsteps echoing, but she did not stop. She ran through narrow streets, weaving between alien structures, hoping to find a place to hide. Hours later, Clara found herself at the edge of the colony, overlooking the rocky plains below. Exhausted and scared, she held Liam close. She whispered to him, "I won't let them take you. I promise." The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of red and gold. Clara realized something important. Survival was no longer just about food or shelter. It was about teaching Liam to be strong, smart, and fearless. She had to prepare him for a world that would never fully accept him. In the quiet of the evening, as the first stars appeared, Clara made a decision. She would leave the colony. They would find a safer place, a hidden world where Liam could grow without fear. And she would not run blindly. She would learn. She would plan. She would fight if necessary. Liam stirred in her arms, looking up at her with wide, trusting eyes. Clara smiled, her heart steady with resolve. "We will survive, Liam, no matter what." She did not know where they would go or what dangers awaited them, but one thing was clear. The child in her arms was special. He was not just human, not just alien. He was a bridge, a new kind of life, and she would protect him, whatever it took. For the first time since Verk left, Clara felt a small spark of hope. It was fragile, like the first light of dawn, but it burned bright enough to guide them forward. They would face the galaxy together, mother and son, and no one, not even a warrior like Verk, would take that away. Clara and Liam moved quickly through the rocky paths outside the colony. The sun was low in the sky, casting long shadows across the uneven ground. Clara held Liam close, feeling the small warmth of his body against her chest. Every sound made her tense, rocks shifting, wind whistling, or the faint echoes of alien patrols. She knew the soldiers could follow her at any moment. "We need to keep going, Liam," Clara whispered. "We can't stay here, it's not safe." Liam nodded, gripping her shirt with his tiny hands. "Safe, Mama?" he asked. Clara smiled, though her heart ached. "Yes, baby, we'll find a place where no one can hurt us." The journey was difficult. Clara had never traveled so far on her own. She had to climb cliffs, cross narrow bridges of stone, and hide in small caves when she heard distant footsteps. At night, she would make a small fire to keep them warm. Liam slept against her chest, safe in her arms, and Clara kept her eyes open, listening to every sound. One night, as they rested in a shallow cave, Clara whispered to Liam, "You are stronger than you know, strong like your papa, but also strong in ways he never understood." Liam looked up at her, his eyes wide. "Strong like Mama too," Clara laughed softly. "Yes, stronger than me too. You have both in you, Liam, that makes you special." Days passed. Clara found small streams to drink from and wild plants to eat. She kept Liam clean and fed, though the journey drained her. Each step reminded her that survival would not be easy. But she also noticed something remarkable. Liam was learning at a speed she had never seen in a child before. He could climb small rocks faster than she expected, and his memory for directions was almost perfect. Sometimes he seemed to understand danger before she did, pulling her out of a path that looked safe but wasn't. Clara began to wonder if Liam's abilities were more than just natural talent. Maybe he was different because he was part Verk. Maybe he was more than just a child. One morning, Clara climbed a hill to get a better view of the surrounding area. She carried Liam on her back, holding him tight as the wind whipped around them. From the top, she could see the colony far behind, alien towers glinting in the sunlight. But farther ahead in the distance, she saw something that made her heart beat faster, a large structure half hidden by rocks and dust. "I think maybe that's where we should go, Liam," Clara said, pointing. Liam squirmed slightly. "Big place." "Yes, baby." "A big place that might keep us safe," Clara replied, though she was unsure herself. She had heard stories about the ruins of old human bases, places built long before aliens arrived in large numbers. Some said these bases were abandoned, but they might have supplies or even technology that could help them. They started moving toward it. The path was long and treacherous, but Clara felt a strange hope growing. The thought of finding something human-made, something that could protect Liam, gave her strength she didn't know she had. When they finally arrived, the base was mostly covered in rocks and dust. It looked deserted, and the doors were rusted shut. Clara examined the entrance carefully, looking for signs of danger. She found a small side panel, cracked but functional. Using her strength, she pried it open just enough to slip inside with Liam. Inside, the air was cool and dry. Dust floated in the sunlight that came through broken windows. Clara set Liam down, letting him explore the room. His eyes lit up as he ran his hands over strange consoles and screens, pressing buttons without really knowing what they did. Clara shook her head and laughed softly. "Don't touch everything, Liam. We don't know what this is yet." But Liam only giggled, moving from one panel to another. Clara watched him, her heart swelling with pride. Even here, in a place abandoned for decades, he seemed at home. She realized that he was not just human or alien. He was something new, something the galaxy had never seen. As they explored, Clara noticed a large chamber deeper inside the base. The walls were lined with complex machinery, and at the center was a massive metallic figure, covered in dust and cables. It looked like a suit of armor, but far larger and more intricate than any suit she had ever seen. "What is that?" Liam asked, his tiny voice echoing. Clara studied it, feeling a strange sense of awe. I don't know. Maybe it's a machine. Maybe it can help us." She approached carefully, brushing away the dust. Symbols and writing covered the surface, strange letters that she did not recognize. But she could feel something in the air, a hum, almost like the base itself was alive. Clara remembered the stories of the war titans, ancient machines built by humans long ago, designed to protect humanity from any threat. People said they were gone, destroyed, or deactivated. Could this be one of them? She placed her hand on the metal surface and the hum grew stronger. A panel slid open with a soft hiss, revealing a cockpit. Clara's heart raced. Liam, I think this is what we need. This might be able to keep us safe. Liam climbed onto her shoulders, looking down at the machine. Safe. Yes, baby, safe, she said firmly. Clara began examining the cockpit. The controls were complicated, far beyond anything she had used before. But she noticed something strange, a small panel with a glowing blue light. When she touched it, the machine shivered as if waking from a long sleep. Liam, she whispered, this is it. This is what can protect us. For hours, Clara worked to understand the controls. She had never piloted anything like this before, but she remembered fragments of old human training manuals she had studied as a child. She tried each button carefully, pressing, twisting, and pulling levers, hoping not to trigger anything dangerous. Finally, with a soft rumble, the machine's eyes lit up. A deep, mechanical voice filled the chamber. Activation complete. Identification required. Clara's breath caught. She glanced at Liam, whose eyes were wide with excitement. I think it wants to know who we are, she said. The voice spoke again. Human DNA detected. Hybrid signature recognized. Stand by for further analysis. Clara realized that the machine could sense Liam's unusual genetics. It knows, Liam. It knows who you are. It knows you're special. The machine's systems hummed louder and the floor vibrated slightly. Clara felt a mix of fear and hope. If this machine truly was a war titan, it could give them a chance to survive against any threat, even Verk or his people. Days passed as Clara worked with the machine. She learned its controls slowly, teaching herself what the manuals could not explain. Liam was fascinated, pressing buttons and learning from his mother. He absorbed information at an astonishing rate, surprising Clara at every turn. One night, while they rested in the cockpit, the machine's voice spoke again. Hybrid child shows extraordinary potential. Protective measures activated. Clara hugged Liam tightly. It's going to protect us, baby. We won't be alone anymore. For the first time since Verk left, Clara felt a spark of hope. They were no longer just a mother and child running from danger. They had an ally, something strong, something powerful, something that could fight if they could not. But Clara also knew that awakening the War Titan would not go unnoticed. If Verk or the Alien Council discovered what they had found, it could lead to a war. She pressed her hands to Liam's small shoulders. We have to be careful, Liam, but we are ready. We are stronger than they think. Liam smiled up at her. Stronger, Mama. Yes, baby, stronger, she repeated, feeling the truth of it in her bones. Humans had survived on countless worlds against countless enemies because of one thing: determination. And that determination was alive in Liam, in herself, and now in the machine that would fight with them. The nights were still long and full of danger, but Clara no longer felt completely alone. She watched Liam sleep in the cockpit, his tiny chest rising and falling. Outside, the wind howled through the rocks, but inside she felt warmth, hope, and strength. They would face the galaxy together. They would fight if they had to, and they would survive no matter what. Clara pressed her hand against the metal of the War Titan, feeling its power thrumming beneath her palm. She whispered softly, "Thank you for helping us." For the first time in her life, Clara felt that maybe, just maybe, the impossible was possible. Clara spent the morning checking the War Titan, trying to understand how it worked. The large machine stood silent but alive, its metal surface humming softly under her hands. Liam ran around the cockpit, touching buttons and switches, and every time he did, the machine seemed to respond with a faint vibration. "You're making it wake up more, Liam," Clara said, smiling. "But be careful." Liam looked at her with wide eyes. "Mama, it likes me." Clara nodded. "Yes, baby, I think it does. It wants to help us." The War Titan's voice spoke again, calm and deep. "Hybrid child recognized. Protective protocols initialized. Engagement ready if threat detected." Clara swallowed hard. Protective protocols. It was more than she had hoped for. This machine could keep them safe, maybe even fight for them. But she knew that they had to learn how to use it before danger came. "I'll teach you slowly, Liam," she said. "We have time." The day passed with careful training. Clara showed Liam small things, how to move the control levers, how to watch the screens, and how to tell the machine what they needed. Liam learned quickly, faster than Clara expected. Sometimes he would point to a screen and press a button and the machine would respond immediately. "You're amazing, Liam," Clara said, her voice full of pride. The child smiled. "I want to help Mama protect us." That evening, Clara stepped outside the base, letting Liam stay inside where it was safe. She scanned the horizon. The colony was far behind, but she knew Verk's patrols could be searching for them even now. Her stomach twisted at the thought, but she forced herself to stay calm. She began thinking about what the War Titan could do. If it was really a human-made machine, it must have been built to fight, to protect humanity. But if it had been asleep for so long, would it still work? Could it really help them against Verk and his alien warriors? As night fell, she returned to the cockpit. Liam was already asleep, curled up in a small chair. The War Titan systems hummed gently, lights glowing softly in the dark room. Clara pressed her hand against the metal, feeling the vibration travel through her palm. "You'll keep us safe, won't you?" she whispered. The machine responded in its calm, mechanical voice. "Protection guaranteed within operational capacity." Clara nodded, feeling a small relief. Maybe they had a chance after all. The next morning she woke to a sudden vibration. The machine's voice echoed in the room. "Threat detected. Alien patrol approaching." Clara's heart jumped. She grabbed Liam, holding him tightly. "It's okay, baby. We're ready. We can do this." The cockpit opened automatically, and the War Titan's metal arms moved with precision. Clara had not expected the machine to act on its own, but it did. It scanned the terrain outside, and its voice gave them instructions. "Move to the rear exit. Patrol approaching from east and west. Estimated arrival 5 minutes." Clara nodded, following the instructions. Liam clung to her as they moved to a hidden exit. Outside, the wind howled through the rocky plains. In the distance, she saw shapes moving, tall, armored aliens approaching quickly. The War Titan's voice instructed them again. "Engage defensive mode. Activate energy shields." Clara pressed the controls, and a glowing barrier surrounded the base. The aliens stopped, confused by the sudden wall of light. One of them tried to fire a weapon, but it bounced harmlessly off the shield. "Good job, Liam," Clara whispered. "You helped make this happen." The aliens hesitated, then retreated. Clara watched them disappear over the rocks. She exhaled, her body shaking with relief. Liam looked up at her, eyes wide. "Safe, Mama?" "Yes, baby, we're safe," she said, holding him close. After the attack, Clara realized something important. The War Titan was more than a machine. It could think, adapt, and respond to threats. And it could sense Liam's abilities. That made them stronger than any patrol could imagine. Days passed as Clara learned more about the War Titan. She discovered that it had weapons and shields far stronger than anything she had seen. It could analyze the environment, detect danger, and respond faster than a human could. Most importantly, it seemed to recognize Liam as a special being, a hybrid child whose abilities could change the course of events. Liam also grew stronger. He learned quickly how to use the controls, how to tell the War Titan what he wanted, and even how to guide it through simple commands. Sometimes he would giggle as the machine moved with him, spinning or lifting small objects, and Clara would laugh despite the tension of their situation. One afternoon, Clara sat with Liam in the cockpit, watching the sun rise over the rocks. "You're growing so fast, baby," she said softly. I think you might be more than just a child. Maybe you can do things no one else can." Liam looked at her seriously. "I want to protect us, Mama, I promise." Clara hugged him tightly. "I know, baby, I know." Suddenly, the War Titan's voice broke the calm. "Large energy signature detected, approaching vessel." Clara's eyes widened. "A ship?" "Yes," the War Titan said. "Unknown origin, possibly hostile. Recommend immediate defensive measures." Clara held Liam close as the ship appeared over the horizon. It was sleek and metallic, moving with speed. She recognized the markings. It was Verk's clan. They had come to take Liam. Her heart pounded. She knew this was the real test. The War Titan systems activated automatically, energy shields raising around the base. Clara pressed a few controls she had learned, directing the machine to prepare for engagement. The ship landed, and armored aliens poured out. Verk stepped forward, his expression unreadable. Clara's stomach twisted, but she held Liam tightly. "You shouldn't have come," she said firmly. "This child is mine. You will not take him." Verk's eyes narrowed. "He belongs to his father. He is part of my bloodline." "He will serve my people." Clara shook her head. "No, he is not your weapon. He is my son, and I will protect him." Verk's soldiers moved forward, but the War Titan reacted instantly. Its metal arms rose, glowing energy shields surrounding them. Laser beams fired from its shoulders, cutting through the rocky terrain without harming Clara or Liam. The aliens stopped, shocked by the sudden display of power. Clara realized something incredible. The War Titan was not just a machine. It was designed to protect humans, and now it was protecting them. Even against powerful aliens, they had a chance. Liam looked at Clara, his small hands gripping her shirt. "We're safe, Mama." "Yes, baby." "We're safe," she said, though her voice shook with excitement and fear. Verk stepped closer, trying to reason with the War Titan. "Deactivate. You do not understand. He is mine." The machine did not respond to Verk. It focused on the threat, analyzing him and his soldiers. Its voice was calm, mechanical. "Threat detected. Hybrid child protected. Hostiles neutralized if attack continues." Verk's face turned pale as he realized the machine would not obey him. He had underestimated human technology, human ingenuity, and now the power of a human-alien hybrid child. Clara watched him, her heart steady. "You see now," she said softly. "Humans are stronger than you think." Verk hesitated, then retreated. His soldiers followed. The ship lifted into the sky and disappeared over the rocks. Clara held Liam close, feeling relief wash over her. "We did it, baby," she whispered. "We're safe. The machine kept us safe." Liam smiled, hugging her tightly. "Strong, Mama, strong like you." Clara kissed his forehead, tears in her eyes. "Yes, baby, strong. We're stronger than they think, and we will survive no matter what." That night, Clara lay in the cockpit with Liam asleep beside her. She realized that their journey had changed. They were no longer hiding. They were fighting back. They had the War Titan, they had each other, and they had the strength of humanity in their hearts. She pressed her hand against the machine. "Thank you for protecting us," she whispered. The War Titan hummed softly, as if acknowledging her gratitude. Clara knew that this was only the beginning. Verk and his people would not give up easily. But she also knew something even more important. Humanity, even in its smallest form, could stand against anyone. With Liam, with the War Titan, she felt a hope she had never imagined. The galaxy was vast and dangerous, but Clara and Liam were ready. They had the power, the courage, and the determination to survive, and the War Titan would fight with them. As the stars shone through the broken ceiling of the base, Clara whispered one last promise to Liam. "We will face the galaxy together, baby, and no one will ever take you from me." Liam murmured in his sleep, "Together, Mama." And together they would be unstoppable. Clara woke to a strange hum that vibrated through the floor of the War Titan's cockpit. Liam was already awake, sitting on her lap and staring at the glowing screens. The hum was stronger than usual, almost like the machine was warning them. "Mama, what's that sound?" Liam asked, his small voice full of curiosity and a little fear. Clara held him close, scanning the monitors. "I think something is coming, something big." The War Titan's deep, mechanical voice echoed through the cockpit. "Hostile fleet detected, multiple vessels approaching. Estimated arrival 30 minutes." Clara's heart clenched. 30 minutes. That was all the warning they had. She stood quickly, gripping Liam tightly. "We have to prepare, baby. Stay close to me." Liam nodded, his eyes wide but determined. "I'm ready, Mama." Outside, the sky darkened with dozens of alien ships, glinting in the sunlight as they moved toward the hidden base. Clara watched the approaching fleet, feeling both fear and excitement. She had trained with the War Titan and she knew they could fight, but this was more than any patrol or small group. This was an army. The War Titan's voice spoke again. Defensive measures activated, energy shields at full capacity, weapons systems online. Hybrid child ready for engagement. Liam's small hand pressed a glowing panel. "Ready?" Clara smiled at him, though her heart pounded. "Good. Let's show them what we can do." The first wave of alien ships fired, beams of energy cutting through the rocky plains. The War Titan reacted instantly, raising shields and firing back with precision. The rocks around the base exploded in sparks and dust, but inside, Clara and Liam were safe. Clara watched as Liam's eyes followed every movement, his small hands guiding the machine's controls. Even at his age, he could sense danger and react faster than most adults could. The War Titan seemed to understand him perfectly, moving in sync with his tiny commands. The aliens tried to land troops near the base, but the War Titan's arms lashed out, striking their vehicles and sending them tumbling back. Clara held Liam tightly, amazed at how powerful the machine was and how connected Liam seemed to be to it. "Look, Mama," Liam shouted. "We're stopping them." "Yes, baby," Clara said, her voice full of pride. "We're stopping them together." Verk appeared on the command deck of his lead ship, his face pale with anger. He had underestimated the humans, underestimated Clara, and most of all, underestimated Liam. He shouted orders, but the War Titan anticipated every move, countering with strategy he could not predict. Clara realized something important. The War Titan did not fight like the aliens did. It did not rely on brute strength alone. It was smart, precise, and adaptable. And Liam's presence made it even stronger. Together, they were a team that Verk could not beat. The battle raged for hours. Alien ships crashed, beams exploded, and the ground shook beneath them. Clara's arms ached from holding Liam, but she did not let go. She watched as her child guided the War Titan, pressing buttons instinctively, and saw the machine react instantly, moving in ways she could not have imagined. "Stay calm, Liam," she whispered. "We can do this. We are stronger than they think." Liam nodded, his small face serious. "Stronger, Mama." Verk, seeing his ships destroyed one by one, decided to take matters into his own hands. He left his ship and moved toward the base in a smaller, faster craft. Clara saw him approaching and her heart leapt. This was the moment she had feared and prepared for. The War Titan reacted instantly. Its arms moved, creating a barrier of energy that blocked Verk's craft. Clara pressed the controls she had learned, helping guide the machine. Liam's small hands flew across the panels, and the War Titan spun, catching Verk's ship in a beam of light and sending it crashing into the rocks. Verk leapt from the wreckage, landing on the ground with speed and strength Clara had never seen in any human. He ran toward the base, his eyes locked on Liam. Clara stepped in front of her child. "You will not touch him," she shouted. Verk stopped, his alien features twisting in anger. "He is mine," he said. "You cannot stop me." Clara raised her hand, pressing a control that activated the War Titan's arms. They moved with incredible speed, blocking Verk and pushing him back. But he was strong, stronger than any human, stronger than most aliens. Clara felt the power of the machine struggle to contain him. "Liam, listen to me," she said. "Focus, tell it what to do." Liam's small voice rang out clearly. "Protect us, stop him." The war titan reacted immediately. Its arms grabbed Verk, lifting him off the ground with ease. Verk struggled, but the machine's strength was too much. Clara felt a thrill of triumph. Humanity, even a small mother and her child, had defeated one of the strongest warriors in the galaxy. Verk's eyes narrowed. "This isn't over," he said, his voice full of promise and anger. Clara held Liam close, looking at the defeated alien. "It is over for now. We are stronger than you think, Verk, and we will survive no matter what you do." Verk growled but backed away. He signaled to his remaining forces and they retreated into the ships, leaving the base behind. The sky cleared and the winds carried away the smoke and dust from the battle. Clara exhaled, her body trembling from relief and exhaustion. She hugged Liam tightly. "We did it, baby. We survived." Liam smiled, his small face glowing with excitement. "We're strong, Mama." "Strong like you." "Yes, baby, strong," she said softly, tears in her eyes. "And you helped us be strong too." The war titan powered down slightly, its systems returning to a calm hum. Clara pressed her hand against the metal, feeling the warmth and strength of the machine. "Thank you," she whispered. "You saved us." The next days were quiet, but Clara knew it would not last. Verk would return, and he would not forget what had happened. She spent her time teaching Liam more about the war titan, letting him explore the controls under her guidance. Each day he grew more confident, more aware of his own abilities. Clara also began planning for the future. They could not stay at the base forever. They needed a place where they could train, grow stronger, and prepare for the inevitable return of Verk and his clan. She studied maps of nearby planets and asteroids, looking for somewhere safe, hidden, and defensible. One evening, as she and Liam watched the sunset from the top of a rocky hill, Clara felt a sense of determination she had never known. The galaxy was vast and dangerous, but they had something the aliens did not understand: human courage, human cleverness, and the bond between mother and child. "You see, Liam," she said softly, "we are not just hiding anymore. We are fighting back. And we will survive no matter what comes." Liam hugged her tightly. "Together, Mama." "Together," she whispered, feeling the truth of it deep in her heart. The war titan stood silent behind them, a guardian and ally. Clara knew that with it, and with Liam's unique abilities, they could face anything. The battle had shown her something important. Humans were underestimated, but they were strong. They were clever, and they never gave up. Clara pressed her hand to Liam's head, kissing his soft hair. "You are special, Liam, and one day the galaxy will see it too." Liam smiled sleepily. "We're ready, Mama." "Yes, baby, we are ready," Clara said. And together they looked toward the stars, knowing that the war was not over. Verk would return, the galaxy would challenge them, but they had the war titan, they had each other, and they had a strength that no alien could match. Humanity had returned, and it would not be ignored. The stars shone above, bright and endless, and Clara whispered one final promise to herself and her son. "We will survive. No one can stop us. Not now, not ever." And with that promise, mother and child prepared for the battles to come, stronger than any enemy could imagine, ready to face a galaxy that had long forgotten the power of humans. Clara woke early, sunlight streaming through the broken windows of the base. Liam was already awake, his small hands running over the panels of the war titan. He had learned quickly, and now he seemed confident, almost as if he knew the machine better than she did. "Mama," Liam said, looking up at her. "Today, fight again." Clara hugged him tightly. "Yes, baby, but today we fight for more than just safety. We fight for our future. We fight so no one can ever threaten us again." The war titan hummed behind them, its massive arms ready, shields charged, and sensors scanning the sky. Clara had spent days planning. They could not hide forever. Verk would return, stronger and angrier. But now they had a strategy, and more importantly, they had confidence. Humans had survived worse than this, and now Liam's strength and the War Titan's power gave them a real chance. As the sun rose higher, Clara guided the War Titan to the surface. Liam climbed onto a small platform inside the cockpit, his hands moving over the controls with precision. Clara watched him, amazed. Her son had grown in ways she could never have imagined. He was part human, part alien, and part something new. That made him unpredictable and powerful. The sky darkened suddenly. From the horizon, a fleet of ships appeared, faster and larger than before. Verk was coming, and this time he had brought reinforcements. Clara felt her chest tighten, but she forced herself to stay calm. The War Titan's voice spoke. Hostile fleet detected. Engagement recommended. Hybrid child prepared. I'm ready, Liam said, his small voice firm. Clara held his hand. Then we fight together. The first wave of ships fired, beams of energy cutting through the rocks. The War Titan moved quickly, shields rising and weapons firing in precise bursts. Clara guided it, but Liam's small hands directed the machine in ways she could not have predicted. The machine moved like a single being, responding to his instincts. Verk appeared in the lead ship, his alien eyes narrowed. He had brought a much larger force this time, expecting to overwhelm them. But the War Titan, guided by Liam, met every attack with precision. Shields blocked energy blasts, weapons struck enemy ships, and Clara realized something incredible. The War Titan was learning, adapting in real time. Liam was teaching it without even knowing. Clara shouted over the roar of battle. Liam, focus. We can do this. Liam's hands flew across the controls. We can, Mama. Watch. The War Titan's arms swung, knocking enemy ships into the rocky plains. Energy beams cut through the air, but the machine protected them from every attack. Clara's heart pounded. They were holding their own against an entire fleet. Verk's ship descended and he stepped onto the ground, moving toward the base with speed and power. Clara raised her voice. You will not touch him, Verk. Verk's eyes blazed. He is mine. He will serve my people. Clara pressed controls and the War Titan moved between them. Its massive arms blocked him, energy shields glowing brightly. But Verk was strong. He struck the machine with his fists, metal ringing against metal. The War Titan shuddered, but it did not falter. Liam climbed onto a small console, pointing at Verk. Stop him, he shouted. The War Titan reacted instantly, grabbing Verk with its powerful arms. Clara watched as her son guided the machine, moving Verk back, keeping him away from them. The alien struggled, but the War Titan was too strong. You cannot win, Clara shouted. Humans are stronger than you think. Verk growled, his eyes burning with anger. This is impossible. The War Titan moved again, spinning Verk and tossing him into a rocky slope. He slid down, hitting the ground hard. Clara stepped forward, holding Liam close. It's over, Verk. You cannot hurt us. You cannot take him. Verk struggled to rise, but the War Titan's arms held him in place, lifting him into the air. Clara felt a thrill of triumph. Her son, the hybrid child, had guided the machine to victory. Humanity had returned, and it was stronger than ever. The remaining alien ships tried to flee, but the War Titan fired carefully, disabling engines and forcing them to retreat. Clara watched the fleet disappear over the horizon. For the first time in weeks, the sky was calm and clear. Clara hugged Liam tightly. We did it, baby. We won. Liam smiled, tired but happy. We're strong, Mama, strong like you. Yes, baby. Strong, she whispered, tears in her eyes. And you helped us be strong too. Verk hung in the War Titan's grip, looking defeated. He struggled, but he was no match for the machine and the hybrid child guiding it. Clara stepped closer, feeling a surge of pride and power. You see now, Verk, she said firmly, humans are not weak, we are clever, we are strong, and we will survive no matter what you do. Verk glared, but he could not escape. Finally, he stopped struggling, realizing defeat. This cannot be, he said, his voice low. Yes, Clara said softly, It can, and it is. The war titan slowly lowered Verk to the ground, its arms retreating. Clara looked down at the alien, her heart steady. She did not fear him anymore. Humans had survived far worse. And now, with Liam and the war titan, they were unstoppable. Liam climbed down from the console and looked at Verk. "No more hurting people," he said, his small voice firm. Verk did not answer. He turned and left, disappearing into the horizon with his remaining forces. Clara knew they had seen humanity's true strength, and that knowledge would spread. Clara held Liam close. "You did it, baby. You helped us win," Liam smiled. "We did it together, Mama." "Yes, baby," Clara whispered, her heart full. "Together." The war titan powered down slightly, its systems humming softly. Clara pressed her hand to its metal surface. "Thank you," she said, "for protecting us, for helping us fight." The machine hummed in response, as if acknowledging her words. Days passed, and Clara worked with Liam to explore more of the base. They repaired systems, stored supplies, and prepared for the future. Clara realized something important. Humanity had returned to the galaxy, and it would not be ignored. Even a small mother and her hybrid child could change the balance of power. Liam grew stronger every day. He learned more about the war titan and himself, discovering abilities that surprised even Clara. Sometimes he would press a control, and the machine would move in ways that seemed impossible. Clara realized that her son was not just a child. He was a bridge between humans and aliens, a symbol of what humans could achieve when they were underestimated. One evening, as they watched the sun set over the rocky plains, Clara felt a sense of peace. The battle was over, but their journey was just beginning. They would need to find a place to live safely, train, and prepare for whatever challenges the galaxy might bring. But now they were ready. They had each other, the war titan, and a strength that no one could take away. "Mama," Liam said softly, leaning against her. "We're ready for anything." Clara kissed his forehead. "Yes, baby, we are ready. Together we can face anything." The stars appeared in the sky, bright and endless. Clara watched them, thinking of all the worlds humans had once explored and all the battles they had fought. Humanity had survived against odds that seemed impossible. And now, with Liam, with the war titan, she knew they would survive again. The galaxy was vast and full of danger, but Clara no longer feared it. She held her son close, feeling the bond between them grow stronger with every heartbeat. She knew that humans were clever, strong, and unyielding, and Liam, her child, represented a new beginning, something that could inspire hope, courage, and respect across the stars. Clara whispered softly to him, "We did it, Liam. We showed them what humans can do. And one day they will see even more." Liam closed his eyes, smiling. "We're strong, Mama. We can do anything." "Yes, baby," Clara said, her voice firm. "We can do anything." And as the stars shone above them, Clara knew the truth of it. Humans had returned to the galaxy, stronger than anyone imagined. A mother and her hybrid child had faced a war titan, fought impossible battles, and survived. And now, the galaxy would never forget the power, courage, and resilience of humanity. The war titan stood silent beside them, a guardian and symbol of their strength. Clara held Liam tightly, feeling his warmth and determination. Together they were unstoppable. Together they were the future. And together they would face whatever came next, human and hybrid, mother and child, strong enough to change the galaxy.